son, where'd you find this?
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late, they cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
Slave song, slave ship, rip skin, maybe break bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired of the brain on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed. Begging a generation to remember our story.
Yo. What up? Good morning. Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Tuesday, good people. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but we got a nice little shade of gray, a sprinkle of rain, and I ain't mad at it at all. I love it right where I'm at. I hope all is well with you. Shout outs to my poets, writers, content creators, everybody in between. You see the title. We're gonna chop it up a little bit, man. I got a clip I want to play for y'all. Now, there's multiple, and there's different versions and different perspectives about it. I didn't want to go that route. I found the raw footage, at least one of them, and I want to give my own take on it. If you're not familiar, I've talked about Adrien Broner here in the last couple months for various reasons. One in which involved him trying to have a conversation with a OF model online, and that went horribly wrong. We got stuff to talk about, man. What I want to do is I'm gonna bring this up on the big screen. I'm gonna let the clip play, and we want to chop it up. Do me a solid, like, share, repost, let the people know that we are on. Let's bring this up. Now, I don't know if you've seen this video or not, but just in case you haven't, I want you to take a quick look at this. Just sad, man. This shit is really sad. Anyway, let me go ahead and roll the footage, man.
No, it's 11. No, that's cool.
Why I hear music right now?
Oh, no.
I said it earlier. Hey, wait, chill, okay?
It's good?
He's single one out. I gotta sing. No, chill. No, bro, chill.
Yo, I'm gonna go home. Yo, that has never happened to me. Like, that's the first time, like, somebody's actually, like, slapped my ass or tried some shit on me. Like, I've never, like, ever. Like that's crazy. Like that's honestly so crazy. And I really hope he apologizes because I know he's drunk, but being drunk doesn't excuse your behavior. But that's just like all around weird. Like I look, he wanted to cry in that moment. I'm not gonna lie. This is my first time too. Like that's never happened to me ever.
All right, man. First of all, I don't believe that. I do not believe that it's the first time that it's ever happened to you. Um, I do feel bad that that happened because no matter what anybody thinks about these type of situations, you don't put your hands on a female like that specifically. Couple things that I want to address. For starters, I want to talk a little bit about the decline of Adrien Broner. The brother, man, went from being one of them ones in boxing to completely just fucking up his whole career, turning into a whole alcoholic and all these other things. And I think it's sad that this poison and this lifestyle it has successfully begotten a lot of people that is coming to success. I don't know if it's you feel untouchable and because you have more access to these things that it gives you the illusion, right, that you're not susceptible to this type of issue that come with these devices. Sarah, my apologies. I see you in the building. Let me bring you up here real quick. Hey.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am good. How about yourself?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Okay.
It went fast, but no complaints.
Okay, good. So we like to hear.
How about yourself?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yeah.
So I don't know if you had a chance to see this video or not. I can play it back, but basically we're talking about Adrien Broner. He essentially got into a situation with a young lady on a stream where he puts his hands on her inappropriately. Play it back for you just so you can get the actual context behind it.
Okay, cool.
No, it's 11. Nah, that's cool.
Why I hear music right now?
Oh, no.
I played it earlier.
Hey, wait, chill, okay?
It's good?
He's single one. I gotta sing. No, chill. No, bro, chill.
Yo, that has never happened to me. Like that's the first time like somebody's actually like slapped my ass or tried some shit on me. Like I've never ever like that's crazy. Like that's honestly so crazy. And I really hope he apologizes because I know he's drunk, but being drunk doesn't excuse your behavior. But that's just like all around weird. Like I look, he wanted to cry in that moment. I'm not gonna lie. This is my first time too. Like that's never happened to me ever.
There you have it. So there's a lot of mixed reactions to it. I don't want to influence your take on it. So we can just start like with your initial thoughts. My opening thesis on it was basically talking about, you know, how influencers, celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they come into this fame and this fortune, and they get
Mm-hmm.
introduced to these devices, these substances, and it distorts their mind. It ultimately ends up putting them in situations where you see their health, their
Yeah.
careers all slowly decline over time because of things like this. But
Yeah.
your initial thoughts on the video?
Um, the way how he slapped her, or well, tapped her. Okay, she said that he was drinking. I get that. You sometimes you're not your 100% self. But with all places, the way how he slapped her on the butt, um, to me, that's inexcusable. I didn't care how silly you are drinking or if you've been taking something. It's a big no-no. But if he's been taking something, he could have misjudged. And obviously, which for her, which it is, makes you feel uncomfortable. But if you're coming in dressed like how you're dressed, and unfortunately, if the guys have been taking stuff, I could see why sometimes they can, get a little, not say excited, but they could just get like, they could do whatever they want. I know it's not an excuse, but if you're at, as I said, that influencer, or if you're at that type of settings and surroundings, it happens all the time. People's, misjudgment, or they things get taken or misconstrued. And it seems to be that she was the only girl in there as well. So that doesn't help. If there was another girl, he'll be like, hey, 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 don't touch her like that. But we only just got a snip of it. We don't know what happened before. We don't know what happened after. We don't know what lead up to it. There's many different, situations or scenarios where it can happen and draw from. And I'm with her. I would have left as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he could have tapped her on the shoulder, or he could have like, grabbed her shirt, you know what I mean? As such. But, the physical aspect, when I saw that, I'm like, nah, there's something more to it that we don't know about. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And then why are you putting it on film? You know what I mean? Like, why? Why do you want the whole world to see? Like, come on, dude. Like, we're in the modern world now. We don't have to have everything on camera. I don't know. That's just me, though. But hey, each to their own. Oh,
I think
boy. Anyway, I don't know. I just kind of, it just, damn if you do and damn if you don't. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, we just don't know anymore. You know what I mean? We only get the 5-second, slip, or we only get the 5-second kind of look. And it always seems to be the highlighted of the worst, parts or the worst situation. At the end of the day, it's her word against the camera and the person who's actually taking it, who's actually, insta rolling it, you know what I mean? So to speak. But anyway, never mind. Each their own.
well, she said she wasn't going to press charges or file no type of lawsuit against them.
Is that too much? Too much info? Too much, or a lot to think about?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't think. I don't think. Um, Hold on, let me rephrase that. She said she wasn't going to hold that against him. She understood that he was drunk.
Yeah.
Um,
Why?
hold on, we having a technical difficulty. Uh, basically, what I was about to say was she's not pressing charges. She's saying, well, all right, it was just alcohol. That's how they get when they drunk. But here's the thing, right? First of all, in my opinion, Adrien Broner is too old to be hanging out with 19-year-olds. You 36, bro. 36. And quite frankly, in a parallel universe, you shouldn't even be here. You shouldn't be getting curved online by OF models. You shouldn't be hanging out with teenagers and kids at all in general, fresh out of high school. You are supposed to be around millionaires. You're supposed to be around men and women that are sitting in corporate offices, making moves, building brands, bringing other boxes up, creating generational wealth for other adults or future adults coming into the field or whatever. You should be expanding. You should not on any type of medication. You shouldn't be overweight, out of shape, streaming with people who are doing nothing but focusing on overly being sexualized and other elements. Your career should have been up here. There's no reason why we should even be in this seat right now having this type of conversation, period. So to even be here right now is sad to me. I'm disappointed. I don't know if it's because of your arrogance and your ego that allowed you to fall from grace. I don't know if you ignored your family and your friends and the people who were telling you you need to cut this shit out, bro. You crashing out. You doing too much, bro. Put the bottle down. Stay in the gym. Stay away from these people. Stay away from these females. Stay away from this. What are you doing? I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a combination of everything. But we here, and now you under attack. Rightfully so. The tap on the tap on her backside, to me, it looked like you did it for views. You did it for rage baiting. You wanted something to talk about. Because a lot of times now when I see stuff like this, I think, oh, they just want a reason to go viral or something. Because granted, she's 19 years old. I didn't know who she was until today. But guess what? Former boxer Adrien Broner touches the ass of 19-year-old such and such. Who is such and such? Oh, now I gotta go into my Google search. Now I gotta go on Instagram. I gotta go on TikTok. Now she got a new follower base. So it's like, was this strategy? Are we using perversion as a technique to get a new audience? Or is this just poor behavior and poor choices all like it's a lot that you can say about this, man. I
Yes. I'm agreeing with you. Is it attention at the end of the day and more followers? is it her way of creating her own platform?
I'm assuming she already has one.
Yeah,
Otherwise she wouldn't be up there with them.
yeah.
So it's like, all right, you have a name,
Yeah,
they have a name, but they have a bigger platform.
yeah,
So what I'm going to do for you is I will bring you on here if you do this for me. So I'll use your youth and your sexual appeal to attract a broader audience of men and women and teenagers or whoever you're trying to get over here if you do this for me. And so I think that's how a lot of them work. Because if you don't have a name, they're not going to deal with you.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Adrien Broner is not going to hit me up and say, "Hey, I would love to do an interview with you," and even though you don't have, they're not doing that.
yeah,
They're only checking for folks that they know got eyes on them.
yeah. I agree. She's already established. She already has a name. To me, it sounds like clout chasing. That's the new thing. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying a new thing. It's always been. You know what I mean? I think not. I don't want to say a thing to do, but it's like, you know, the more followers you have, the more popular that you are. You know what I mean? The more, traction you get, you know, more eyes on you. Um, yeah, I just look at it as just like it's in a sense of clout chasing. She's already got a following, but as I was saying earlier, we just don't know what happened. We don't know the lead up. You know what I mean? We don't know the before. And the sheer fact that it's on camera again, to me, that's just another sign or another telltale sign of like she just wants more followers, gaining more followers. You know what I mean? Another story that she can add. Yeah. Look, I'm just I'm just looking up and reading up on her, and you can see that she's already got like, a few million followers. She's already established. But for him, you know what I mean, Adrian. Yeah, look, it's so tricky these days. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I mean. It's there's so many different layers and so many different areas that this day and age. I don't care where and who you are, what industry, where you are in the world. People's mindset or people's attitudes have changed. The first thing people look at and first thing people wants to know, what's your Insta? What's your TikTok? And I'm like, okay, no, hi, how are you? Let's get to know each other like on a, one-on-one, like like an in-person, like, sorry, to me, that fathers me. You know what I mean? It's just, everyone wants to know you on a digital aspect this day and age. But hey, you know what I mean? Sometimes I sit back, I go, I'm just the foreigner. You know, what would I know? You know what I mean? But that's just the nature of the beast. That's just that's where we are, where we're heading. Like, yeah, I could add to that, but I won't. Because I
Look,
get very passionate.
I'm not saying what he did was right,
Mm,
but what I am saying is, for one, she shouldn't even be in the position she's in you said it earlier, and I've seen a few people say this. You can't go around men, let alone drunk men, dressed the way you are,
Mm-hmm.
and expect that they're going to look at you or treat you like something that you're not showcasing.
Yeah.
I don't know why is that so difficult to figure out. I mean, all right, you're on a live stream in front of who? Who's the target audience? Who's watching this? A bunch of horny men, horny teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, these streams is not set up for women of conscientiousness or spirituality. Not them. That's
Yeah.
a different demographic. So you know who your audience is. Y'all will never convince me that you don't know or do the research of the people that you're about to step on stage with. So
Mm-hmm.
you go to this particular group of people to do whatever collaboration you're going to do with them with a shirt that's see-through that says slippery when wet.
Yeah.
We know what type of innuendo that suggests with these little ass shorts on.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you, without even seeing your channel or your platform, that a lot of your content probably is overly sexualizing yourself. Go
Mm-hmm.
on here around these dudes. Adrien Broner has a history, and you just telling me you didn't expect any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's right, but you're supposed to try to limit the level of access that someone could have to you. By all means, you put yourself in this situation knowingly and unknowingly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You hit the nail. You put yourself in that situation. You mean, why are you around them? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, unfortunately, when you're in a group setting, especially, men that have been, intoxicated, athletes, bouncers or, bodyguards, there's a lot of testosterone, a lot, you know what I mean? And you're going in on your own, or you have a friend or a few friends you're going to bring, you know what I mean? You're asking for trouble. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, something's definitely going to happen. Guaranteed. I don't want to say not always, but usually it does. It goes down the rabbit hole fast. You know what I mean? And especially if you're, dressing cute or, super sexy, you know what I mean? That just adds to it as well. It's, as I said, just being in different settings, in different environments, you sense it, you feel it. And okay, so my question is, why was she there? That's what I like to know. Was it a meetup? Look, I don't know. Was it a meeting, or, as I said, is it to gain more followers? You know what I mean? In that sense, like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I look at it like this. All right, let's do a word association. I'm going to name someone, and you tell me the first thing you think about that person.
Mm, okay.
Ben Affleck,
Celebrity.
Denzel Washington,
Go getter.
Will Smith.
Shit stirrer.
All right. So the point that I'm trying to make is,
Yeah.
if I see a name attached to anything, I already know who I'm dealing with.
Right. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it wouldn't matter what they were doing or why she was there. You know who you are surrounding yourself with. You should already understand the environment you're in. So you can't convince me, the viewer, that you're just innocently walking into something blind. No, I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
Everything is by design.
Yeah.
My background is by design. The camera angle was by design.
It was a setup.
Everything is strategically put in place for a specific reason. So when you put on certain uniforms, outfits, and you have certain people where they are with you, it's for a reason. So I don't know. You can't, that's why I'm like, man, half this stuff I don't really believe is real. And if it is real, what does that say about you as the adults who are bringing people on your platforms that have such a destructive nature about them? Adrien Broner has been on a decline for a while now, skipping out. He skip out on bills. He getting embarrassed and humiliated online on social media, following boys around, following these men around, following. Like, what are you doing? You're using him. You're using him for his name. You're not really his friends, and you're benefiting of exploiting someone who is going through all types of mental, spiritual, and emotional turmoils. Call it what you want. That man is going through stuff, and it's shown every single time he opens his mouth. You call it entertainment. You think it's funny and hilarious to laugh at him, but really, it's sad. It's sad as hell.
Yeah. Actually, I see where your point. Okay. So she's using that as an angle, as an in, where she's gaining and profiting. And unfortunately, it's making him look bad and he's deteriorating. And she's using that for, unfortunately, he's at a, not in a good place in his stage, like in his life. And yeah, okay. Yep. Okay, I can see what you're saying now. Yeah. Yeah, it's so she's at the end of the day, she's just using him. You know what I mean? And it makes her look good and popular. And unfortunately for him, it's it's working against him.
Of course, I could be wrong. I mean, there's different ways to look at it, but I think everybody is clout chasing these days. I do. I really honestly feel like that, because even if you say she isn't, make an argument that she isn't. And I'm not even just talking about her in general. I'm talking about everybody from the cameraman to the person that he hang out with backstage off screen. I'm talking about every a part of those streams. All of them are using them. I think he's using them back as well.
Clout chasing. That's yeah. At the end of the day, who's benefiting off who? Who's using you? Who's going to get the more numbers? Who's going to get the more traction? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Like, as I said, at the end of the day, we don't know the real reason? Well, we will never find out the truth behind it, because unfortunately they only give us, the highlight reels, or the version that's gonna get people's attention. And obviously we're talking about it because it's got our attention. You know what I mean? So it's gonna, push them, with the algorithm. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, to me, it's just all mind-boggling. At the end of the day, I just took one look at her. I could see it's just for her, it's for attention. For him, you know what I mean? You know, obviously he wants to get, look, both sides, they both are using the socials to their advantage. There's no way around it. You know what I mean? Because people are talking about it. As I said, it just boosts them up through the whole algorithm. They're only going to give us what we want to hear. Obviously, what's that expression? Negatives, breeds negative. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, people rather talk about the bad instead of the good, because good doesn't get you anywhere. It's boring. No one wants to know about it. But you say one thing or anything out of line, looking at her, as I said, it's just, to me, it looked like it had, and it's staged. So they probably, which they did, pre-performed it. And why not? That's how I look at it. Why not? You know what I mean? Any publicity is good publicity. Not in my eyes, but unfortunately, the world that we live in, just how it is these days. Yeah, as I said, that I don't understand, like, both of them, I'm looking, where they've both got established accounts. So to me, I think, and I'm reverting it, and I'm keeping where it's just all clout chasing at the end of the day. Sad, but it's just how it is. Welcome to modern socials. You know what I mean? Look at just, yeah, it just baffles me. You know what I mean? I'm just, yeah. Anyway.
It's a bad look on women. It's a
Yep.
bad look on. It's a bad look on young women.
Yeah.
It's a bad look on black men in general.
Yep. Certainly. Yep.
The behavior patterns of this man, if they persist and he continues doing things like this, and it's not staged,
yeah,
it's going to be bad. It's going to be something that he's not going to be able to come back from. And while people are clip farming and finding amusement, they should be trying to get him help. And I've been advocating for that. That brother needs therapy. He needs to get offline. He needs to get away from people and get help.
Yeah, like
sponging off of 19-year-olds and teenagers, and damn well that that's not where you should be sitting at. It's crazy to me. Yeah. And for people to even entertain it, first of all, you were sitting there right next to her.
Yeah.
God, skin to skin, bro. If you wanted her attention, you had it when you were sitting down. Why did you have to wait until she got up to tap her?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good look. Not a good look overall. No matter, you side with her or you side with him. And, this day and age, I like how you address the fact, okay, the way how she dressed, that's sending all wrong signals, wrong, it's screaming. And then on his side, being a, I don't want to put the race card, but I'm going to, that nationality, that makes him look bad no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, he could keep talking.
I don't know where that.
That's okay. It's all good. I don't look. Yeah, you know me, my audio issues. So that's nothing. But so yeah, it's just it just because it like obviously not being from here and then now living out here, I see so much and I certainly feel a lot because I'm just like, this is not normal. This is not right. What's going on? You know what I mean? And, like, for example, when you go to fill out a form or an application and how, you know, how they emphasize it on the ethnicity. And I just thought, oh, to me, that's just like, I don't see that where I'm from, if that makes sense. But out here, they actually specifically, and I'm just like, to me, in my mind, I'm like, if you're good at what you're doing, like, applying for a job or if, filling out any, government documents, it's just like, I feel like they categorizing you. You know what I mean? Like, and this is the same with her, like, and him. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, she's a young, up and coming influencer. He's, in the sports field or in the sports world. He has a name for himself. People around him for the wrong reasons. And a situation that has, like this, has arisen. It's just like, it's screaming for problems and issues, and it's clout chasing. You know what I mean? It's all numbers. It's all about algorithm. You know what I mean? As being a sportsman or sports, how many deals, like endorsements, that he's about to lose. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of companies don't want to be associated and attached, in that sense. For her, you know what I mean? Like, she's just gonna, act victim or act cute and probably get away with it in that sense. And, long term, it's always, I don't want to say this, but I will. It's always more favored to the females or to the women, but paint and make the males or the men look just 110% worse than what it should be. Like, we could sit there and just look and, as I keep saying, we don't know what happened. We don't know what lead up to it. But at the end of the day, it makes him look bad. No matter what he does. You know what I mean? Like, the poor guy, it's tarnishing his bad name, his good character. Like, as I said, any right man, he's a sportsman. It's all about getting the mind and keeping the mind right. He has to, because the stakes are so high. You know what I mean? Like, this is his reputation at the end of the day. You know what I mean? He's going to lose a lot. You know what I mean? Contracts, endorsements, his credibility. At the end of the day, you know who your true friends are when situations arises like this. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to get involved. A lot of people are afraid to speak up this day and age. You know what I mean? And it's sad though, because these are the times where you do need someone you can, lean on, or someone who's going to vouch for you, or someone who's going to, verify that no, this is not who he is. You know what I mean? In that sense. But Yeah, look, as I said, it's, sometimes being, an entertainer, or sometimes being a sportsman, or, being an influencer, it's not what it's all cranked up to be, because we know there's a lot of situations that happen like this day in, day out. One wrong turn, oh boy, it blows up. And it takes months, even years, for it to blow over. And the backlash, to me, is it worth it at the end of the day? But then how can you avoid this? We need to live. We need to have a life. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's just like you're opening a can of worms where the worms just keep coming out. You know what I mean? Because you think, oh, this happened, and you heard about it, and then there's something else adds to it. And then you think this, and I'm just like, what's really going on? What's really happened? But yeah, at the end of the day, I feel for both of them. I really do. I hope it's worth it. I really do. You know what I mean? Because I don't want any of them, I don't want anyone to miss out. I don't want anyone to lose out or any of that kind of stuff. But, we're in a society, it's all about me now. You know what I mean? It's what I can gain. Yeah. Woohoo. Yes, we love you, socials.
The sad part about the whole thing is that while we are celebrating overly sexualizing each other,
Mm,
it really hasn't done anything to bring positive abundancy to anybody's house.
yeah.
So your trade-off is you got attention, retention, money, but eventually all of that is going to top off because you're not going to be able to rely on that forever. And the sacrifice that comes with giving your body away freely
Yeah.
is never worth it. I've never seen it. Somebody give me one example of a woman or a man. All right, let's put it this way: a woman objectifying her body, and she rode off into the sunset,
Hmm.
happy. Granted, you might get the first 10, 15 years or more getting to walk through all the doors, getting to do everything that us human regular mortals can't. Eventually, that tab will come, and you're going to have to pay it. Or
Yeah.
name me a guy or athlete or whoever who has sold their soul or thrown people under the bus or have advocated for violence and so much death and destruction, promoted it, advocated for it, that has made millions and millions of dollars off of it and has undeniably gone to their grave unwaveringly happy.
Mm,
It don't it don't it
mm.
don't exist. And if you think it exists, then you are still plugged into the matrix. So I don't
Yeah.
know where you've been at. So why you saying, "Oh, you just jealous, you sassy, you just hating on women. You don't want women to be free. You don't want them to dress how they want to dress. You can dress however you want to dress, and you can be around whoever you want to be around. But
Yeah.
there's a reaction for every decision you make, and you
Yeah.
can't sit up here and complain online or lash out at the people when your choices and decisions come with consequences that go against the rules that you created for yourself."
Yeah. 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 That's, consequences. Yeah. Actions. Yeah, in that sense, like, I know she knows what she was doing. I know she knows that she knows what she was getting herself into. You know what I mean? Like, you dress like that even down the street, you know you're going to get the attention. And then you're going into a setting or an environment where it's a group of men, athletes or sportsmen, been drinking. Yeah, it never ends well. It just never ends well. So yeah, and it's just, as I said, I just, reading up on her and seeing, and you know what I mean, like, she's a good actor. She put on a good performance. You know what I mean?
Sensation.
Now, and that's like, if this is a real thing, or if, as I said, it's fake news, but it looks bad on him no matter what. You know what I mean? No matter what. That's just how I look at it. To me, I think he has more to lose than what she does. Because of his like caliber and his status, and because he's worked his ass off to where he is, and a lot of people is relying on him. A lot of people are depending on him. You know what I mean? Like, anyone at that level, you know what I mean? You just don't win just a match, or you don't do all that training, or you don't do all years or your life work, and to have something like that lost, or a backlash for like, what, 5 seconds? Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, as I said, I don't know, how do you come back from that? You know what I mean? Like, how, like, there's so much, like it's damaged, like there's a lot of damage that goes with that. And at the end of the day, I hope she thinks it's worth it. You know what I mean? Because if you go around destroying people's credibility or their livelihood, okay, you really don't have much going on in your life. Because things are changing so fast, things are happening, people are quick to judge and point the finger at you. They don't want to really hear what you have to say. One wrong move, that's it. You're gone. You're out. Bye. And it's so scary because you can be replaced in a dime. That's another thing that's scary. You know what I mean? You'll be like, hold on. You think you know someone, or you think that you are safe? You got that wrong again. So, yeah. Anyway. Oof, oof.
I know.
And I hate being so like passionate and transparent, and get like to the I love the rawness, and I love the like what's really behind, what's really going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to just sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? Because there's more than meets to the eye. But anyway.
That was fact. And I'm glad you said he got more to lose than she do.
Yes. Look,
know,
it's just people don't realize, and this is another thing that really gets underneath my skin, or really, I hope you don't mind me saying this, pisses me off, is that this is his, or anyone at that caliber, or anyone at that status, that's their life work. That's their life mission. You know what I mean? This is something they have done their whole life. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have someone like him working at I'm not, please don't get me wrong, at like a normal 9-to-5 job. Do you know like obviously it's more than got to do with money. It's your dignity is just gone. Like you're just like, this is not me. This is so not me. This is beneath me. I don't care whoever thinks and whatever. But when you're at that caliber and when you're at that level, anything else, it is beneath you. And you didn't work that hard to lose everything at a dime. But so yeah, and as I said, that's me seeing what I'm seeing. And now that I'm out here, you know, where the land of everything and it's at your fingertips, but it can be lost in a second. So yeah, let's, as I said, I want to, now that we've had this conversation, now I want to actually dig deeper. I want to know what's going on. I want to, obviously see where he is, what's going to happen. Like between us, we already know what's going to happen, but I want to know, how is he going to be able to redeem himself?
To be honest with you, I don't think there is no redemption. Well, there's always redemption, but
yeah.
that requires a level of accountability that I don't think he is prepared for. Now, he did apologize to her.
Yes. Okay, good.
But the stain lasts longer on men, longer than it does a woman. So if the roles were reversed,
yes.
Matter of fact, I give you one even better. There's a video that nobody ever talks about. Mario is a pretty popular singer. He was performing at a concert. I think it was like last year or so. And he's at the front of the stage, and a married woman takes a handful of this man's scrotum. She's groping this man while he's performing. He smacks her hand away, tells her to stop doing it. She grabs his junk. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody had anything to say about it. and it's like, this is regular. That is something that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And nobody bats eye to it. But Adrien Broner, he won't be able to bounce back so easily from nothing like that, even if it was staged. But you see in real time, this woman, she grabbed this man's, it's like,
oh my, and it's like we see the writing on the wall, and that's not acceptable behavior, but it's a common occurrence. That's another thing too. Like, she should have been kicked out, or she should have been asked, hey, you need to leave. Especially if he's performing and he's up on stage. You don't want someone grabbing you. You know what I mean? Like, certainly women don't like it. So why would the guys like it? You know what I mean? And he's trying to, like, he's an entertainer. He's performing. That's, look, as I said, people's point of views or people's perception this day and age, I just know that people are just losing it left, right, and center. Like, we know that's unacceptable behavior. But as what you're saying, it wasn't spoken about it. They kept it on the down low. They were hush hush. You know what I mean? And it's going to look bad on him because no matter what, they're going to say, oh, no, you provoked it. And I'm like, how? He was up there performing. You know what I mean? Like, how did I provoke it? You know what I mean? You know, the securities, you would hope, you know, which they did, they probably put an end to it. But when things happen so quickly in the spare of the moment, you know what I mean? The stakes are high, your emotions are high. Oh boy, that's another topic. That's another talk on its own in that kind of sense. But oh my gosh, I'm just I look, being normal and civil, unfortunately, you know, we're the problem ones now. We've got to go out there and create some type of havoc, you know what I mean, for it to be okay and to be allowed. You know, anyone's right mind would know, no, that's inappropriate and out of character. But anyway, never mind. We'll leave that alone. We will leave that alone.
Yeah. My last thoughts on the whole thing is, man,
Yeah,
brother,
I can
get
see it.
brother, go get you some help, man. Get you some
Yeah.
help. I think you got too many people around you that's not telling you the truth. And if they are telling you the truth, you're not listening to them.
Yeah.
And if that's the decision that you want to take, you've been warned. The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Your timeline speaks for itself. You're self-destructing in front of the world, and people are either trying to stop you or they're riding along with you until there's nothing left, and then they're going to move on to the next person that they can scavenge off of.
Yeah.
This young lady is 19 years old. You are in a world of hurt if you think that your youth is going to be there forever. You are in a world of hurt if you think that them people who are marketing you because of your intellect. You are in a world of hurt if you believe that them people are supporting you because of anything other than the fact that you are putting yourself out there to immobilize and destabilize a younger generation of little girls and to further be a wedge between what is right and what is wrong. You are a tool.
Yeah.
You are being used and manipulated into doing things without knowing that you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you 19, you having the time of your life, and everybody is kissing your ass, and they worship in the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm there with you. I am. Yeah.
Cool, you got it right now. Wait until it's no different than driving a car, never changing your oil. Eventually, some things are going to start messing up in your engine if you don't do proper maintenance work on it. And these people are leeches. They're going to wear you out, wear you down until your spirit, your body, your mind is so corrupted that it's going to take a team to repair the damage that is slowly chipping away at you. You just don't see the rain.
That's so true. You're right. Yeah. Leeches, parasites.
That's all I gotta say about it. But shout outs to y'all, man. I don't know how y'all feel about the story, but Sarah, I do appreciate your feedback, and I'm glad you could make it this morning. This was
Yes.
an amazing show.
Mm-hmm.
If you got any words you want to say to the people before we close out, we got more shout outs to everybody who tapped in with us this morning. Make sure you subscribe, hit that button to stay tapped in with us. I got a show later on. But the floor is yours if you want to say anything to the people.
Yeah. Look, guys, we just be mindful, just, show that, some consideration. We all know we're all going through stuff. Life is hard as it is. Don't make it harder. Keep it positive. Do a kind act, a small kind act. And just, just show some compassion. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like, we really don't know what's going on in people's worlds and lives. And, just be kind. Just learn to be kind. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much.
And with that being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If I don't get to chop it up with y'all later, enjoy the rest of your evening as well. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Take it easy. Bye.
Do me a solid before y'all go.
What's the goddamn button?
Peace.
Peace.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, maybe rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired as a brain on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed. Begging that generations remember our story.